Ladies and gentlemen, life is too short and precious to settle for anything less than God's best for you. Today, I want to challenge you to rise above self-doubt, excuses, and poor decisions that hold you back. You are destined for greatness, so it's time selling yourself short. Recognizing your worth is one of the most foundational steps to living a fulfilling and impactful life. It's not about arrogance or self-centeredness. It's about understanding who you are and the unique value you bring to the world. Too often, people allow external factors to dictate their self-worth, whether it's the opinions of others, societal standards, or past mistakes. But the truth is, your worth is not something that can be determined by anyone else. It's intrinsic. It was instilled in you from the moment you were created, and nothing in this world can take it away unless you allow it to. When you don't recognize your worth, you begin to make decisions that reflect a distorted view of yourself. You settle for less than what you deserve, whether in relationships, careers, or opportunities. You allow fear and doubt to dictate your choices. You might even find yourself in a cycle of trying to prove your value to others, seeking validation from people who may never truly appreciate or acknowledge your worth. This leads to frustration, exhaustion, and sometimes even bitterness. But the truth is, no amount of external validation can fill the void that only self-awareness and self-acceptance can satisfy. Recognizing your worth starts with understanding that you were created with purpose and intention. You are not a mistake or an afterthought. There is a reason for your existence, and you are equipped with everything you need to fulfill your unique destiny. The world may try to tell you otherwise, but you don't have to listen to those voices. Instead, choose to listen to the voice of truth, the voice that says you are loved, valuable, and capable. One of the biggest obstacles to recognizing your worth is comparison. In today's world, it's easier than ever to look at someone else's life and feel inadequate. Social media has made it simple to compare your behind-the-scenes moments to someone else's highlight reel. But comparison is a thief of joy, and it blinds you to the blessings and gifts in your own life. The more you focus on what others have, the less you appreciate what you have. The truth is, someone else's success does not diminish your own potential. There is room for everyone to thrive, and your journey is uniquely yours. Another challenge to recognizing your worth is holding on to past mistakes. It's easy to let guilt and shame cloud your perception of yourself. You might feel like your failures define you or that you're unworthy of a fresh start. But the truth is, everyone makes mistakes. It's part of being human. What matters is not the mistakes you've made, but how you respond to them. Do you allow them to hold you back, or do you learn from them and move forward? Recognizing your worth means forgiving yourself and refusing to let your past dictate your future. Your worth is also not tied to your achievements or possessions. Society often equates success with material wealth or accomplishments, but these things are fleeting. They don't define who you are at your core. You are valuable simply because you exist, not because of what you do or what you own. When you understand this, you stop striving for things that don't truly matter and start focusing on what is building meaningful relationships, pursuing your passions, and living with integrity and purpose. Recognizing your worth requires intentionality. It's about making a conscious effort to shift your mindset and reframe how you see yourself. Start by identifying and challenging negative beliefs you may hold about yourself. These beliefs often stem from past experiences or words spoken over you, but they don't have to define you. Replace them with affirmations of truth and positivity. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you, and distance yourself from those who tear you down. Self-worth also involves setting boundaries. When you value yourself, you don't allow others to treat you poorly or take advantage of you. You recognize that your time, energy, and emotions are precious, and you protect them accordingly. Setting boundaries isn't about being selfish. It's about honoring yourself and teaching others how to treat you. When you recognize your worth, it changes the way you approach life. You begin to walk with confidence, not arrogance, but a quiet assurance that you are enough just as you are. You stop seeking approval from others because you know that your value isn't up for debate. You become more resilient in the face of challenges because you understand that your worth isn't determined by your circumstances. Recognizing your worth is a journey, not a destination, is something you have to remind yourself of daily, especially in a world that constantly tries to tell you otherwise. It requires faith, perseverance, and a commitment to seeing yourself through the lens of truth. Guarding your mind is one of the most critical and transformative actions you can take in life. Your mind is like a garden, and whatever you allow to take root there will eventually grow and bear fruit, whether good or bad. The thoughts you entertain, the beliefs you hold, and the voices you listen to have a profound impact on the direction of your life. If you don't take control of your mental landscape, external influences will. That's why it's essential to be vigilant about what you are minding in your mind and to nurture thoughts that align with your purpose and potential. Your mind is constantly processing information from countless sources, social media, news outlets, friends, family, and even strangers. Not all of these inputs are positive or beneficial. Some may plant seeds of doubt, fear, or negativity that can grow and take over your thought patterns. If you're not careful, you may find yourself overwhelmed by these influences, losing sight of who you are and what you're capable of. Guarding your mind starts with being selective about the information and messages you consume. You have the power to decide what you allow into your mental space. One of the most damaging things you can do to your mind is to dwell on negative thoughts. It's easy to get caught in a loop of worry, self-criticism, or regret. These thoughts may feel overwhelming at times, but it's important to remember that you have the ability to challenge and change them. Negative thoughts are like weeds in your mental garden. If left unchecked, they can choke out the positive and productive thoughts that lead to growth and fulfillment. Recognizing when a thought is unhelpful and actively replacing it with a more constructive one is a powerful way to guard your mind. Your environment also plays a significant role in shaping your thoughts. The people you spend time with, the conversations you engage in, and the media you consume all influence your mindset. If you're surrounded by negativity, it's only a matter of time before it begins to seep into your own thoughts. Conversely, surrounding yourself with positivity can help you build a resilient and hopeful mindset. Choose relationships that uplift and inspire you. Seek out content that educates, encourages, and motivates you. Be intentional about creating an environment that supports your mental well-being. Guarding your mind also means being mindful of the stories you tell yourself. These internal narratives shape your identity and your actions. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough, those beliefs will become self-fulfilling prophecies. But if you choose to speak life over yourself, affirming your strengths, potential, and worth, you'll begin to see a shift in your mindset and your reality. The words you use, even in your own thoughts, carry immense power. Be intentional about making them words of encouragement and possibility. Another critical aspect of guarding your mind is managing your focus. What you focus on grows, so it's important to direct your attention toward things that align with your goals and values. If you spend your mental energy worrying about things you can't control, you'll drain yourself emotionally and mentally. Instead, focus on what you can control: your actions, your attitude in response to challenges. When you prioritize your focus, you'll find that your mind becomes clearer, more productive, and more at peace. Fear is one of the most pervasive influences that can take hold of your mind if you're not vigilant. Fear can paralyze you, distort your perspective, and keep you from stepping into your potential. Guarding your mind means recognizing fear for what it is, a feeling, not a fact. It's natural to feel fear at times, but you don't have to let it dictate your decisions. By acknowledging your fears and choosing to act in spite of them, you take back control of your mind and your future. Guarding your mind also involves cultivating gratitude. Gratitude has a way of shifting your perspective and reminding you of the good in your life, even in challenging times. When you make a habit of focusing on what you're thankful for, it becomes harder for negativity to take root in your mind. Gratitude is a powerful tool for maintaining a healthy and hopeful mindset, and it's something you can practice daily. Discipline is key to guarding your mind. It's not always easy to resist negativity or to stay focused on positive and productive thoughts, especially when life gets tough. But with practice and persistence, you can develop the mental discipline needed to protect your mind. This might mean setting aside time each day for reflection, meditation, or prayer. It might mean writing down your goals and affirmations to keep them at the forefront of your mind. Whatever tools or practices work for you, the important thing is to be consistent and committed. Guarding your mind is a lifelong process, but it's one that pays off in countless ways. It allows you to approach life with clarity, confidence, and resilience. It empowers you to make decisions that align with your values and goals rather than being swayed by external influences or fleeting emotions. It creates a foundation for personal growth, healthy relationships, and a sense of purpose. Breaking toxic patterns is a courageous and transformative decision that can completely change the trajectory of your life. Toxic patterns often creep into our lives gradually, becoming so familiar that we don't even realize they're holding us back. These patterns can take many forms: unhealthy relationships, destructive habits, negative self-talk, or even cycles of procrastination and avoidance. While they may provide a false sense of comfort or control in the moment, they ultimately rob us of our potential, our peace, and our joy. Recognizing and breaking free from these patterns requires self-awareness, determination, and a willingness to embrace change, even when it feels uncomfortable. One of the most important steps in breaking toxic patterns is recognizing them. This may seem obvious, but it's not always easy to identify the behaviors, choices, or relationships that are harming us. Toxic patterns often disguise themselves as coping mechanisms or as the path of least resistance. For example, staying in a relationship that drains your energy might feel easier than confronting the reality that it's not healthy for you. Avoiding challenges or numbing your emotions with distractions might seem like a way to protect yourself, but over time, these patterns only compound the issues. Taking an honest inventory of your life, your choices, and the results they produce is the first step toward change. Once you've identified a toxic pattern, it's important to understand its root cause. Toxic behaviors don't appear out of nowhere. They often stem from deeper issues such as fear, insecurity, trauma, or unmet needs. For instance, someone who constantly seeks validation from others might be grappling with feelings of inadequacy or a lack of self-worth. A person who avoids confrontation might fear rejection or conflict because of past experiences. By understanding the underlying motivations behind your patterns, you can begin to address the core issues rather than just treating the symptoms. This self-reflection requires honesty and vulnerability, but it's a crucial part of the process. Breaking toxic patterns also involves making intentional decisions to disrupt the cycle. This is where many people struggle because change is rarely easy. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone and facing the unknown. For example, ending a toxic relationship might mean facing feelings of loneliness or uncertainty about the future. Changing a destructive habit might require developing new skills or routines that initially feel awkward or challenging. But every small step you take toward breaking these patterns brings you closer to a clearer and more fulfilling life. Accountability is another powerful tool in breaking toxic patterns. It's easy to fall back into old habits when no one is watching or when you're left to navigate the journey alone. Having someone who supports your growth, whether it's a friend, family member, mentor, or counselor, can make a significant difference. They can provide encouragement, offer perspective, and hold you accountable for the changes you're trying to make. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in you and want to see you thrive creates an environment that supports transformation. As you work to break toxic patterns, it's essential to replace them with healthier alternatives. Simply eliminating a negative behavior or relationship is not enough. You need to fill that space with something positive and constructive. For example, if you're breaking the pattern of self-doubt, start practicing self-affirmation and building your confidence through small accomplishments. If you're letting go of a toxic relationship, focus on nurturing friendships that uplift and inspire you. Replacing old patterns with new ones creates momentum and reinforces the belief that change is possible and worthwhile. Breaking toxic patterns also means learning to set boundaries. Many toxic cycles persist because we fail to establish and enforce limits with others and ourselves. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or being rigid. They're about protecting your well-being and prioritizing what truly matters to you. This might mean saying no to situations that drain you, distancing yourself from people who don't respect your values, or holding yourself accountable for behaviors that don't align with your goals. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and self-care, and it's an essential part of breaking free from toxic patterns. Forgiveness plays a significant role in the process of breaking toxic patterns as well. This includes forgiving others who may have contributed to the cycles you're trying to break, but it also means forgiving yourself. It's easy to feel frustrated or ashamed when you realize you've been stuck in a toxic pattern for a long time, but self-compassion is key to moving forward. Acknowledge the lessons you've learned from the experience and give yourself grace as you navigate the path to change. Breaking toxic patterns is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing journey. You may find yourself slipping back into old habits from time to time, and that's okay. What matters is that you recognize the slip and take steps to get back on track. Progress is not always linear, and each step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. The important thing is to stay committed to the process and to keep moving forward. By breaking toxic patterns, you create space in your life for growth, healing, and abundance. You free yourself from the burdens that have been weighing you down and open the door to new opportunities and possibilities. It's a journey that requires courage, determination, and faith in your ability to change. Speaking life over yourself is one of the most empowering practices you can adopt, and it has the potential to transform every aspect of your life. Words are not just sounds or symbols. They carry power, and the words you speak to and about yourself shape your beliefs, attitudes, and actions. Too often, people underestimate the impact of their own words, allowing negativity, doubt, and self-criticism to take root in their minds and influence their lives. When you learn to speak life over yourself, you begin to align your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with positivity, growth, and purpose. Every thought you have and every word you speak creates an internal dialogue that influences how you see yourself and the world around you. This dialogue can either build you up or tear you down. If you're constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough, those beliefs will begin to feel like the truth. Even when they're not. Your words are like seeds. Whatever you plant in your mind will eventually grow and bear fruit. If you plant seeds of doubt and negativity, you'll reap insecurity and discouragement. But if you plant seeds of confidence, hope, and determination, you'll reap resilience and success. Speaking life over yourself begins with being mindful of your words. Pay attention to the things you say about yourself, both out loud and in your thoughts. Are your words encouraging or are they critical? Do you focus on your strengths and potential or do you dwell on your weaknesses and failures? The first step in changing your internal dialogue is recognizing when it's working against you. Once you're aware of negative or limiting language, you can start to replace it with affirmations that uplift and empower you. Affirmations are a powerful tool for speaking life over yourself. These are positive statements that reflect the truth of who you are and who you want to become. For example, instead of saying, I can't do this, you can say, I am capable of overcoming challenges. Instead of thinking, I'll never be good enough, you can affirm, I am worthy and enough just as I am. By repeating these affirmations consistently, you begin to reprogram your mind and shift your perspective. Over time, your beliefs will start to align with the positive truths you're speaking over yourself. It's important to understand that speaking life over yourself doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's not about denying the challenges you face or the areas where you need to grow. Instead, it's about choosing to focus on possibilities and solutions rather than problems and limitations. It's about recognizing your potential and speaking to your ability to overcome difficulties and achieve your goals. By focusing on what you can do and who you can become, you empower yourself to take action and move forward. One of the most effective ways to speak life over yourself is to declare your strengths and qualities with gratitude. Take a moment to reflect on what makes you unique, the talents and abilities you've been given, and the accomplishments you've achieved. Instead of dismissing or downplaying these things, celebrate them. Speak words of gratitude for the person you are and the journey you're on. For example, you can say, I am grateful for my creativity and resourcefulness, or I'm thankful for the progress I've made and the lessons I've learned. Gratitude shifts your mindset from lack to abundance and helps you focus on the good in your life. Another way to speak life over yourself is to visualize your goals and dreams and declare them as if they're already happening. For example, if you're working toward a promotion at work, you can say, I am becoming a leader who inspires and motivates others, or I'm equipped with the skills and knowledge to succeed in my career. By speaking these declarations, you align your words with your vision, which reinforces your motivation and determination. This practice helps you stay focused on your goals and reminds you of your ability to achieve them. Speaking life over yourself also involves letting go of negative labels and judgments that others may have placed on you. Sometimes the words of others can linger in your mind and influence how you see yourself. But those words don't define you. You have the power to reject them and replace them with your own truths. For example, if someone has called you lazy or unworthy, you can counter that by saying, I am disciplined and hardworking, or I am deserving of love and respect. Reclaiming your narrative allows you to take control of your identity and break free from the limitations others have tried to impose on you. As you practice speaking life over yourself, you'll begin to notice a shift in how you feel and how you approach life. Your confidence will grow, your resilience will strengthen, and your perspective will become more hopeful and optimistic. You'll find it easier to take risks, pursue your dreams, and bounce back from setbacks because you've built a foundation of self-belief and positivity. By speaking life over yourself, you create an environment in your mind that nurtures growth, healing, and success. Embracing responsibility is one of the most powerful steps you can take toward living a fulfilled and purposeful life. Responsibility is not about blame or burden. It's about ownership of your choices, your actions, and your life. When you embrace responsibility, you take control of your destiny and refuse to be a victim of circumstances or the decisions of others. It's a mindset that empowers you to create the life you want, rather than passively accepting the life that happens to you. It's about acknowledging that while you can't always control what happens to you, you can control how you respond and what you do next. Taking responsibility begins with recognizing that your life is a reflection of the choices you've made. This realization can be uncomfortable because it forces you to confront areas where you may have fallen short or made mistakes. But it's also liberating because it reminds you that you are not powerless. You are not at the mercy of fate or other people. Your actions, decisions, and mindset play a significant role in shaping your future. When you accept this truth, you stop wasting energy on excuses, blame, or denial and start focusing on solutions and possibilities. Responsibility doesn't mean taking on more than you can handle or blaming yourself for things beyond your control. It's about being honest with yourself about what you can change and where you can make a difference. For example, you may not be able to control the economy or your company's decisions, but you can take responsibility for improving your skills, seeking new opportunities, and adapting to challenges. You may not be able to change how others treat you, but you can take responsibility for setting boundaries and deciding how you respond to their behavior. Responsibility is not about control, it's about empowerment. Embracing responsibility requires humility and courage. It means admitting when you're wrong, learning from your mistakes, and being willing to change. It's not easy to look in the mirror and acknowledge that your own choices may have contributed to a problem or a setback, But this honesty is essential for growth. When you take responsibility for your actions, you open the door to learning and improvement. You become more self-aware and better equipped to navigate future challenges. Responsibility is not about perfection, it's about progress and accountability. One of the most significant benefits of embracing responsibility is the sense of empowerment it brings. When you take ownership of your life, you realize that you have the ability to create change, no matter how big or small. You no longer feel trapped by circumstances or dependent on others to solve your problems. You begin to see yourself as an active participant in your own journey, capable of shaping your destiny through your decisions and actions. This sense of empowerment fuels confidence, resilience, and a deeper sense of purpose. Embracing responsibility also means taking ownership of your mindset. Your thoughts and attitudes play a crucial role in shaping your reality. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, what's missing, or what you can't do, you'll feel stuck and discouraged. But if you take responsibility for your perspective and choose to focus on solutions, opportunities, and growth, you'll begin to see possibilities where there once seemed to be none. Responsibility means being intentional about what you allow into your mind and choosing thoughts that align with your goals and values. Another aspect of responsibility is being accountable for your commitments. When you make a promise to yourself or others, responsibility means following through, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. It's about being reliable and trustworthy, knowing that your actions reflect your character. This doesn't mean overcommitting or saying yes to everything. It means being thoughtful about what you agree to and ensuring that your actions align with your intentions. Taking responsibility for your commitments builds integrity, strengthens relationships, and fosters a sense of pride in your ability to follow through. Responsibility also extends to how you treat others and the impact you have on the world around you. It's about recognizing that your actions have consequences and being mindful of how your choices affect those around you. Whether it's in your relationships, your workplace, or your community, taking responsibility means striving to be a positive influence and making choices that align with your value. It's about being willing to own up to mistakes, apologize when necessary, and work to make things right. Responsibility is not just about personal growth, it's about contributing to the greater good. Taking responsibility can feel overwhelming at times, especially when you're faced with challenges that seem insurmountable. But responsibility is not about doing it all on your own. It's about recognizing where you have the power to make a difference and taking action in those areas. It's about seeking help and support when you need it and being willing to collaborate with others to achieve common goals. Responsibility is a shared journey, and it's okay to lean on others as you navigate it. When you embrace responsibility, you step into a position of strength and influence in your own life. You become the author of your story rather than a bystander or a victim. You begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth and setbacks as stepping stones to success. Responsibility is not a burden, it's a gift, a chance to shape your life in meaningful and fulfilling ways. Refusing to settle for less than your best is a declaration that you value yourself, your potential, and the life you were meant to live. It's a decision to reject mediocrity, complacency, and the temptation to take the easy way out. Settling often feels like the safer choice, the path of least resistance. But when you settle, you trade the possibility of greatness for the comfort of the familiar. You miss out on opportunities to grow, to excel, and to experience the fullness of what life has to offer. Refusing to settle is not about being perfect or striving for unattainable standards. It's about recognizing your worth and committing to give your best effort no matter the circumstances. One of the reasons people settle is fear. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, or fear of rejection can hold you back from pursuing the dreams and goals that truly matter to you. It's easier to stay in a job that doesn't fulfill you than to risk starting something new. It's easier to remain in a relationship that isn't healthy than to face the uncertainty of being alone. Fear whispers that it's better to stay where you are than to risk disappointment or pain. But refusing to settle means confronting that fear head on. It means acknowledging the risk but choosing to move forward anyway because the possibility of a better life is worth it. Another reason people settle is self-doubt. You may question whether you're capable, deserving, or strong enough to achieve more. You may look at others who seem to have it all together and think, that's not for me. But settling is often the result of underestimating your own potential. You are capable of far more than you realize, but you'll never know what you can achieve if you don't challenge yourself. Refusing to settle means believing in your ability to grow, to learn, and to overcome obstacles. It's about trusting that you have what it takes to rise to the occasion. Refusing to settle also means holding yourself to a standard of excellence, not in comparison to others, but in alignment with your own values and goals. It's about showing up fully, giving your best effort, and striving to improve every day. Excellence is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about pushing yourself to go a little further, to try a little harder, and to stay committed, even when it's difficult. When you refuse to settle, you honor your potential by consistently working toward becoming the best version of yourself. One of the keys to refusing to settle is having a clear vision of what you want and why it matters. When you're clear about your goals and the life you want to create, it becomes easier to recognize when you're settling for less. A compelling vision gives you direction and motivation, reminding you of what's possible and keeping you focused on your journey. Without a vision, it's easy to drift or to accept what's convenient, even if it's not what you truly desire. Refusing to settle means staying anchored in your vision and letting it guide your choices. Refusing to settle requires resilience and perseverance because the path to your best life is rarely smooth or straightforward. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. There will be times when it feels tempting to give up or to compromise your dreams for the sake of comfort or convenience. But resilience is what keeps you moving forward, even when the road is tough. It's what allows you to rise after every fall and to keep striving, even when progress feels slow. Refusing to settle is a commitment to keep going, no matter what obstacles you face. Another important aspect of refusing to settle is surrounding yourself with the right people. The company you keep has a profound impact on your mindset, your choices, and your willingness to pursue your best life. If you're surrounded by people who encourage mediocrity or who discourage your dreams, it becomes harder to resist the temptation to settle. But when you're surrounded by people who believe in you, who challenge you to grow, and who inspire you to aim higher, you're more likely to stay motivated and committed. Refusing to settle means being intentional about the relationships you invest in and seeking out those who support your journey. Refusing to settle is not just about achieving external success, it's about living in alignment with your values and purpose. It's about honoring the gifts and talents you've been given and using them to make a difference in the world. When you refuse to settle, you live with a sense of integrity, knowing that you're staying true to yourself and yourself. This sense of purpose brings fulfillment and joy that cannot be found in mediocrity or compromise. It's also important to recognize that refusing to settle doesn't mean never being content. Contentment and ambition can coexist. Being content means appreciating what you have and finding joy in the present moment, while ambition drives you to continue growing and striving for more. Refusing to settle is about finding that balance, being grateful for where you are while staying committed to where you're going. It's about celebrating your progress without becoming complacent. When you refuse to settle, you inspire others to do the same. Your commitment to excellence, growth, and purpose sets an example for those around you. You show others what's possible when you believe in yourself and pursue your best life. Your refusal to settle becomes a light that encourages others to aim higher and to embrace their own potential. In conclusion, refusing to settle for less than your best is a decision that empowers you to live a life of purpose, growth, and fulfillment. It's about recognizing your worth, overcoming fear and self-doubt, and striving for excellence, not in comparison to others, but in alignment with your own vision. It's about resilience in the face of challenges, surrounding yourself with the right people, and staying committed to your goals, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. When you refuse to settle, you unlock the potential within yourself to create a life that is rich with meaning, success, and joy. Remember, you were never meant to settle. You were meant to rise, to thrive, and to become the best version of yourself. Keep pushing forward because the best is yet to come.